Hey there, my Stampin' friends. Are you ready for another summer celebration project tutorial using the Wonderful World bundle from Celebration? I hope so. I have one for you today. Today we're mostly using our DSP to create the card. We're going to be using this large image paper, and you're going to do some fussy cutting to retrieve some of the flowers, individual flowers, to create the card. So if you're careful and you do your fussy cutting so you're not getting another flower in your cut, you can make quite a few cards with this template. Okay, so as you can see, I've already got my two cut out, but you can see from the pattern paper, this one was here and this one was here. And even though this one is missing part of its image, I trimmed it out, and the way we position them on our card, we're going to be able to cover up the fact that we're missing a little bit of that. So some of these flowers, depending on how you're using them, like this bloom, you might just want to use the bloom on the edge of a tag, right? So even though this one doesn't have its full stem, again, you could trim it out and use it on a shorter piece. So don't discard some partial blooms, because you might be able to use them in your projects. Okay, so this one's actually a pretty simple layout. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your time and cut out the flowers of your choice, right? Got lots of choices here to use for your focal points. Then I'm just going to show you how we lay this one out. So I have die cut again with my Stylish Shapes dies, a large circle. I'm going to use this for my sentiment, a little bit different, but I'm going to use it for my sentiment. From the tutorial, you know you need a card base, basic card base, right? You're going to have, I'm using a piece of Mossy Meadow and this DSP that's also in the Mossy Meadow to coordinate together. If you choose to use a different DSP, you might want to use a different color for your two side-by-sides. But it's 2 by 5 1/4 for each of those, and you can color coordinate however you want to go behind your flowers. I ran this one through the fern embossing folder, like I've been doing with lots of our projects, so it's not just plain, it's got some texture on it. Of course, you can use whatever embossing folders you have, but I did use the fern. It paired nicely with it. So all we're going to do is we're going to get our adhesive. Hopefully mine's going to behave. And we're going to put on our DSP first. So these are cut down so that they're going to have a little bit of an edge on both sides, the top, bottom, and side, and then we're going to put them together in the middle. There we go, there's my adhesive. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Let's see, which side do I want up? I think I want that side up. Okay. So you know when you do your embossing folder, there's an embossed and a debossed side. Some of the folders now, both sides kind of have both, but this one, depending on where you put it in your folder, will depend on what kind of effect you get. So I'm going to put the DSP one on first, because that embossed one has a little more height to it. So in case I don't get this one exactly where I want it, I can adjust that one over the top. So I'm just putting this one down. You can see I've got a little bit of edge on those three sides, so the middle's going to get paired up with this next piece. And then this one I'm just going to line it up with my top and my bottom, and my edge there, and then I just press that down. So there is the background for our card base. Now you could, I'm going to do it this way today, but you could choose and do it this way if you wanted to. Okay, so it's your card, make it your way, whichever way you want to do it, but I'm going to do it this way because I chose nice long flowers. Okay, so I've got the yellow one and I've got the white one, and as you can see, I'm just going to put these on there, right? Got to keep them within the card perimeter, but I'm just going to put these on there kind of overlapping like that, so you don't even see that that's missing a bloom. So it's just our little secret, don't tell. Alright, so now I'm going to use this large circle as my sentiment. Now you know I'm using Celebrating You as my sentiment set. You're using whatever set you have, but this one I'm using a long sentiment. The You are every bit of wonderful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my circle in half. I'm going to make a half circle. You could cut it in half, but I'm just going to fold it in half. It's just going to give it a little more thickness, which is fine. It's not going to be too thick. So I'm just going to fold that in half. I don't have to worry about cutting it. Give it a good crease, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiment on there. So you're every bit as wonderful. So I'm just going to use my grid paper, make sure that's square. I want to stamp as square as possible, and then I'm going to put this down right along the bottom. There. Okay, now I'm going to end up putting this down here, okay, as my base. But I want to do some extra stamping on there, so I'm just going to open it back up for a second, and I've got the little tiny leaf here that comes in your Wonderful World stamp set, and I'm just going to add some extra greenery around the edges. Okay, just a little bit of fun filler there. Isn't that just nifty? Okay, now this, I'm just going to go ahead and adhere the two parts together, right? Like I said, I was just going to make an extra thick piece. That way I have a nice smooth edge on the bottom. Right? I don't have a cut edge on the bottom, and a smooth edge on the bottom. And that I am going to go ahead and pop up on dimensionals. So I'm going to put it on first, because then I'm just going to sneak my little flower stems in behind it. Okay, so by putting this up on dimensional, I've got a little room to work. So I'm just going to put my sentiment down here at the bottom, kind of in, framing again the bottom and the two sides, a little bit of even space. Okay, and then these guys, let's see, well, I'm going to use dimensionals. Okay, I was debating whether I wanted to just tear them down or put them on dimensionals, but I'm going to put them on dimensionals. You can do what you want to do, but I am going to put them on dimensionals. So use as many as you feel are necessary. Don't forget to use up your edges as well. Right, it's all sticky bits. Don't leave any left behind. Let's see if I put that there. I put this here. Okay, I'm going to peel off all my little backs. So as you can see, it's a super simple layout. I used the green because I wanted the flowers to really pop as the focal point. But, you know, you change your flower colors, you might want to change your backgrounds. Or this is a great card if you just have like strips of your DSP left, right? This is only a 2-inch strip. So you can go skinnier if you wanted to, if you had a skinnier strip, and just make the side panel a little bit bigger to match up with it. But you could do this with a lot of different colors. I just color coordinated my ink with the cardstock choices I used. But if you change and use the yellow stripes, or if you use the purple pattern paper behind it, it's your choice. Just color coordinate the two sides together. Okay? Alright, now I want to put the one down that has the missing bloom first. So I'm just going to slide that under and position this so it's inside, inside the edge of my card. Just like that. Okay. Gotta stay within the edge, right? And then this one's going to go over the top, and again it's got to stay inside my edge, and we got to cover up that cut bloom. So there's that one. Okay, so now we're going to add some of our iridescent rhinestones. This one's going to be kind of fun. Let's see. Let's see, where do I want them? I could go crazy on this one, but I'm not going to. I'm only going to use a couple. Alright, let's put one here, and we'll match it on the other side. We'll go for some balance. 1, 2. And let's put maybe 3 small ones kind of around the top, just so there's a little bit of sparkle up and down. So there you go, guys. Now for my envelope, right, I didn't stamp the flowers this time, and the flower images, depending on the flowers that you're using, they might match just fine. I don't really have an image. These two flowers aren't really in my set of flowers from the set, right? But some of the images in the paper are. So depending on which images you use, you might want to use the flower. I'm just going to go ahead and put the little leaf at the top, just for a little embellishment, but it's not over the top embellishment. And there we go. So I hope you liked this tutorial. Like I said, it's a super simple side-by-side background. You could use any of the DSPs in the papers you choose, right? And just pair them with a coordinating color. Do your fussy cutting flowers, use those as your main embellishment. And then this is a fun trick of doing the die cut circle, but folding it in half to get a half circle element. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the project. There are more to come, and I'll see you again real soon. Go do some fun stamping. Bye-bye.